back, everyone. Welcome back to part two to another day here, another edition of the OSC Elite Rising Star 17, day number 3, part 2. I'm of course just VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to our second broadcast of the day. Again, earlier this morning we were live with part 1 of this event of the OSC Elite Rising Star. Now we're here to conclude day number 3. Let's go, baby, let's go. For those that are curious, what is this event? This is an event that does feature up-and-coming players. Basically, players that have achieved too much in their careers. If they've achieved too much accolades, they are not eligible for this tournament. So this doesn't include players like Cyril, Clem, Bjorn, Hero, Classic, to name a few. All the top players are excluded from this tournament. We have all the up-and-comers, the rising stars, if you will, instead. Let's go. And again, this is a regular seasonal event that's been running for many years at this point. I want to say the previous champion was, I know that Jumi, I think Jumi, he won like 2 seasons ago, in Rising Star. I want to say that last season, was it Yakov or was it Art? Hold on. OSC Elite Rising Star 16. Yeah, it was Yakov. That's it. Young Yakov. He won over Percival. He won over Percival in the grand finals of the previous Rising Star. So we'll see. We'll see if they can once again make it that far. We'll see if once again they can have a rematch. We'll see if others will rise in their stead instead, as we are jumping into the lower bracket. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live. The bracket is stacked, and we are finally saying goodbye to some key players. Up until this point, it's been purely upper bracket matches. But now we are jumping into the lower bracket. Let's go. Let's very quickly head on over here. And here we go, we have our brackets. So these are some of the matches that we did cover this morning. If you missed them, I do recommend the VODs. We have some very spicy series, PAPI. But Sheamus to take down Demi 2-0. Sheamus now in the upper bracket semis, waiting for the winner of Jumi and Hydra. Within our Percival, he's waiting for the winner of Baby Marine and Young Yakov. Again, Yakov and Percival, they were the 2 finalists of the last Rising Star event. So potential rematch there if Yakov can get past Baby Marine. So best of luck to our 2 players. And of course, we are right now focusing on the lower bracket. There's a lot of matches to get through. Again, the lower bracket is so large that, I mean, it doesn't even fit. It doesn't even fit here on the Wikipedia page. So we're going to be going through those matches, saying goodbye to some key players. Up until this point, players have yet to be eliminated until this broadcast. Oh boy, here we go. Otherwise, hope you all been enjoying yourselves, as we are jumping into our first matchup here. We're going to be jumping into a TVP between HonMonO in triple. Let's go. Jumping in. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the teal Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is a triple. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the South Korean Terran, as I quickly fixed up their names. There we go. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP, as we get into our Terran versus Protoss matchup. Let's go. Let us go, as we are now going to be moving out. And again, HonMonO, he has a reputation. HonMonO, he's known for cheesing, is known for all-inning every single game, whether it's 1-base all-ins, 2-base all-ins. Hyper-aggression is standard from the side of HonMonO, specifically in TVP against other Terran and other Zerg players. He does often play standard or play more Mac-oriented, but against Protoss, it is pure all-in. Now, we'll see if Triple is aware. We'll see if Triple is aware of HonMonO's tendencies. Triple, he's also an up-and-coming Protoss player from South Korea. He's been very active in the online tournament circuit and recently did join the ranks of OSC Elite to compete in the King of the Hills and to compete in events like this. So I believe this is Triple's very first OSC Elite Rising Star tournament. Really cool to see him with us, but this is an elimination bracket, an elimination match, so we will be saying goodbye to one of these 2 players. Meanwhile, 4x, 1-base all-in. Mass Marine, you can see no gas. No gas is being taken, so no Reapers, no add-ons, no upgrades I should mention, just purely Mass Marine production, and I believe the boys are going to be pulled with this. So you're going to pull the boys, Mass Submarines, and just send it across the map, and it's on Triple to figure out what exactly is going on. He has failed to scout. He did not get into the main base. He knows that there's racks. That's all that he sees as, yeah, Triple is playing blind. Now, he may open up Sentry, Cybercore into Sentry into Hallucination Scouts. That's going to be paramount to get some vision across the map. And there it is. Sentry is on the way. Again, this is the only way for Triple to get scouting information. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. We'll see if he avoids the Marines. So far, HonMonO, he does rally out. You can see he fans out towards the left, towards the right, towards the center as well, looking for proxies, making sure that no shenanigans are underway. Here comes that hallucination. Let's go. Let's move out. Up! Oh, and it is going to be denied the scout. Now, he does spot all the Marines, so he's aware that something is wrong. He's aware that there should be extra Raxes. The boys have been pulled, and again, it's all or nothing for HonMonO. Either he kills a Triple or he dies trying. It's all or nothing. Triple, he sees the Marines. He doesn't know that the boys have been pulled, so again, he only has a piece of the puzzle. Thankfully, getting a shield battery in the main. So shield battery in the main base. Unfortunately, too late to cancel the Nexus. Otherwise, that would have been a great refund. An amazing refund here to be able to afford more. So 2 shield batteries so far. 1 in the mineral line, 1 behind it. He has force fields on the ramp. She also has force fields. Oh, a little bit too soon. Does get a couple of SCVs. Ideally, want to be cutting out a portion of this army and picking away at it. But does only get 3 SCVs. Again, ideally, he wanted to wait a little bit longer. And now force fields. Oh, let's go. He's going for the hit. He's going for the Sentry. Sentry goes, oh no. A little bit late to kite. Yeah, late to kite here. Miscontrol by Triple. 1 Stalker does get surrounded. Boys are being pulled down to 2 Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Has to pull more of the boys. Better stutter stepping, and HonMonO, he's on it. HonMonO, he has done it. He has broken the back of Triple. Every probe will fall. Shield batteries out eventually. At least one of them is. And now he's making his way towards those Stalkers. I mean, the Immortal will pop. And there is going to be that shield battery. But that's all there is left. Yeah, just 1 Immortal. And HonMonO, he breaks the back of Triple. He will be looking to claim the first game. Claim the first game here. Again, there's 1 Stalker left. As I mentioned before, the force fields were lackluster. Just lackluster force fields. And also a lack of kiting with the main army as well. So miscontrol out of Triple. And with that, HonMonO has done as we have 1 Sentry. We're powered by Copium, baby. Let's go. There we go. Sentry goes down. Going for the final pylon. GG gets called. And HonMonO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Triple, he did have some nice moments. He was able to get he was able to at least confirm with his hallucination, at least get an idea of what was coming his way. He was able to get a Sentry, able to get his shield batteries, but again, the execution was lacking there for Triple, and again, you don't have room for error here when you're up against an all-in such a way. GG. GG, well played. Now we're getting into game number 2. HonMonO does take a lead, and now we're jumping into that second game. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the teal Protoss. Why have we changed colors? God damn it. Un momento, papi. Un momento. There we go. It's a little bit dark. There we go. In the top left, we have the teal Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is Triple. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player, the South Korean Terran. For Team Hyper 1, it is HonMonO. Here we go. And from the side of HonMonO, once again, we're expecting a 1 base all-in, but he does have a very wide breadth of builds available to him. So this time, getting a gas. So Rax into gas geyser here. So far everything's looking relatively standard. From here we can go into a CC on the low ground. And again, as I mentioned before, 1 base all-ins are common from HonMonO. 2 base all-ins are also in his foray as well. So he can still expand, can still take a natural, and can still go for an all-in, which is what we expect. Which kind of all-in, which build specifically, we're going to find out. As Tripoli does poke in. This time Tripoli confirms that there's a gas being taken. He confirms that there's only one gas as well. How to get locked in. And this probe should fall. I say should fall. Technically, we can recall. Technically, we can recall back. The Marine has arrived. There's the recall. And up! Does make it back home. Does pull out. Does make it back. Behind this Marine into Reactor. 0 scouting. So no SCV scouts, no Reaper scouts. A HonMonO, he's playing blind. He's playing in the dark. He's cutting corners and being greedy early on. He's being greedy. All right, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Pekaweta in the chat as well. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Pekaweta, for subscribing for 11 months, for almost a full year of support. Thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Did happen during the countdown timer. During the countdown. So gracias. Go. As we are going to be rallying Marines across the map, we have 2 more Raxes, so it's going to be a 2-base all-in out of HonMonO. But this is a much earlier push here. The goal here is for economic damage. We do see Triple though. He has a very nice setup. Shield battery, 2 Stalkers and a Sentry and a Force Field. Sentry does pull away. Hellions, they try to break through. So far, nice positioning here with the Stalkers. And does hold. It does hold on. Nice SimCity, nice defense. HonMonO has to pull away. And again, behind this is working towards that Sim timing. So Sim is amassing, tanks are amassing as well. For Hellions, they get 1-shot probes, they get 1 so far. 1 probe. Looking for a way in. Up. HonMonO does pull away. Does pull away, does rotate around. Behind us, we have charge on the way from Triple, getting into the bay. Very interesting setup here, going into Zealot legs first. This is a way to shut down early tank pushes and all-ins. I do think this is actually really smart, specifically against HonMonO. Going for that early charge. And going for 2-base Colossus. Very, very safe play here by Triple. And HonMonO, he gets a 3rd CC. Okay, so HonMonO, he does look like he's expanding. I mean, I say look like just because I believe he still will try to hit that timing. Has he seen the Robo? He does see the Robo.
My dad always researches that one.
God damn it. Now the Hellions. Hellions is trying to go for the dive. Oh! Rotating over, getting 1 more probe. Getting 1, getting up to just 1. Just 1 probe here, so better defense by Triple. And HonMonO, he's getting a 3rd CC, and he's getting Ninja Base. Ooh, he is double expanding here. Hyper greed out of HonMonO. I mean, in a way, this is quote-unquote cheesy in its own way. This is very risky, though. Very, very risky play here by HonMonO. Now, this can give him a very boosted economy coming to the mid-game, only if Triple is passive. So the question becomes, HonMonO, he has a reputation, right? He has a hyper-aggressive reputation. So is Triple going to be too defensive? Is he going to play scared? If so, HonMonO can take advantage of that. That's where this kind of play really can kind of flourish. is if you have this kind of hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive reputation, and then you just be hyper greedy instead, and your opponent just lets you. So the pressure is on Triple. Go. We are building up. Likewise, we have our third base now being taken. Fourth base is finishing up. Again, HonMonO, he has been cutting a lot of corners here to make this happen, and so far it's okay. He hasn't gone away with it yet. Bear that in mind. Like, he's still in the midst of saturating his bases. You can see here only 2 mules and 1 SCV, so this is still a ways away from paying for itself. There's still a window in time where Triple can abuse HonMonO. Still a window. Temple Archives getting to Storm. Looks like Triple, yep, fourth base, second Forge as well. He is not attacking. He's not attacking, and HonMonO, he should get away with this. Planet. Oh, God. Planetary at the third. Let's go. Let's go. Now, this actually means that his economy isn't going to be as big as it otherwise should be. It means he's going to have less mules, or he's going to have a standard amount of mules, I should say. So it does get the planetary. Throws down 2 more bunkers. Sensor tower. He's heavily fortifying himself here on 3 bases. He's walling up. Reactoring at his Vikings, taking more gases, and we are going to max out. I'm going to max out at this point. Or we're looking to max out. With a slightly boosted economy, still slightly. It's still not ideal. We're getting there. So building up. Triple, did he reach the Storm? So no Storm. No Storm, just Archons instead, going for Mass Zealots. He does not have a Prism with the main army. Interesting. Getting a Proxy instead to be able to reinforce, and we'll see if he can break the position here of HonMonO. HonMonO, he's still building up. He's still not fully saturated. He's supply blocked, actually. Oh, God. Now's not the time. The brutal supply block. We have a CC on the way. 2 more depots as well. Triple is moving in. And the tanks are quite far back, actually. Tanks are far back. Zealots, they do try to force some friendly fire. Vikings, they get a hand. They get 1. They get 2. Oh, just 1. They pull back too soon. They pull back too soon. Colossus does survive. Archons are pushing in. And he does reset the tank count. Tank count is reset. That's a kill on the CC. Ooh, down to 1 Colossus. Down to 1 Colossus, and it is going to go down. We have to waste DPS here on the buildings. But overall, Triple is still breaking through. He's getting into the middle line. SCVs are going down, losing every single SCV here at the natural. Now we'll lose how many? We'll lose 26. 26 SCVs are killed. And Triple, he has broken HonMonO. We spoke how there was a window here. There was a window in time where HonMonO was vulnerable because of the double expand. And he still was. Again, this base never got fully saturated. Never got the fully saturated 4th base. In the end, the ninja base wasn't really worth it. Did help with gas income, true, but that's kind of it. so it didn't get up and running. And with that triple, you can just back off, reinforce, and do that again. And this time the position is going to be weaker. There's a smaller army, 0 tanks, no bunkers, no depots, no nothing. So wait for the Colossus. So we have Mass Liberator on the way. Like, when it comes to the composition itself, it's solid, right? We have Ghosts, we have Liberators. It's just the numbers aren't quite there. The economy isn't quite there to sustain that. HonMonO just being a little bit too greedy. See, in his mind, this is like, see, this is why I don't macro. it's like, PAPI, this wasn't macro. Like, I didn't even know what this was. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's HonMonO. True. Like, nah, never take a third base again. Copium. Boys are being pulled. Charge will say rush into the mineral line. The base will go down. Do you have a nice amount of liberators here, but the base will still fall. And we're just flooding in. We're flooding on in. Zealots collapse on the Marines, on the fire. The liberators, the Zealots, they cannot be stopped, PAPI. They cannot be stopped. GG gets called, and triple, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're getting into the ace match, and we are looking to find out how this series does unfold. Game 3 is going to be on Pylon. Let's go. All right, let's go. Full bracket. We do have the link to the Wikipedia page as a part of the command, and on the Wikipedia page it actually has a link to the challenge brackets if you're interested. But here we go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Teal Protoss bringing us to the ace match, bringing it back with his momentum. It is triple. I should say he does have momentum. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. So we're getting to the ace match. Welcome to Pylon. Pylon is the smallest map of the map pool. Shorter rushes by ground. Hyper aggression is favored here on Pylon, so we know what's going to happen. We expect HonMonO to cheese to all in. We saw that he was setting up for a 2-base all in last game, but he did decide to double expand. He got a 3rd and a 4th CC at the same time, which was crazy. And as we were trying to emphasize, it didn't pay off. Like, he didn't get to saturate the ninja base, so it didn't really matter as much. He was being very greedy by taking up into Ghosts and taking up into Liberators and taking up into Advanced Ballistics all at the same time while trying to get a 4-base saturation, and I mean, that led into a tiny army. And as we mentioned at the time, if his opponent was passive, then he would have been okay. But we saw that triple, he was aggressive. He did move out, he did apply pressure, and he was able to go for the kill. Double gas. Meanwhile, double gas opener out of HonMonO, going double gas into a faster factory, into a delayed CC, with this going for a more tech heavy start, and we'll see where this leads us. Go. As HonMonO, he does check nearby, checks the 3rd and checks the 4th base as well. Just checking the nearby locations. And from here, we're going for the So I mentioned before that we saw a double gas opener into a faster factory into what I assumed was going to be a delayed CC, and it is delayed because it doesn't exist. 111. 111, we're going for the initial setup. A hallucination will confirm that the starport is on the way, and should also confirm the lack of command center as well. I didn't quite veer off towards the left hand side. We are rushing into BCs, one base BC, one base all in. Oh boy. Now, we have seen BC play work against Protoss. I still think about like Quanta going, was like double or triple starport BC production. Like he was crazy back in the day. Like I miss my Quanta. So HonMonO going for his own variation, his own twist on things here. Just the one starport. He's going for, of course, ground support as well, but we'll be working towards that battle cruiser. And triple, he has an idea as to what's going on, right? The starport being done this quickly is a red flag. Like something is wrong, something is amiss. And triple is preparing back at home. He's fully walling up at the natural. Good start. I say full wall off, like one building, one unit can fully wall this area off. Likewise, getting vision in the main, working towards charge. Now, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for going into charge. As I mentioned before, charge is ideal against these early ground pushes. Drop into the main base. Doesn't quite bet out the Widowmine shot. Oh, the Colossus. Oh no! Yeah, Colossus does take a lot of hits, and oh my god, does force some friendly fire. Again, ideally, the hallucination wanted to tank the shot and did want to deviate it away or pull it away from the army, unable to do so. Did force friendly fire. And with that triple, he does hold. Does hold on, did lose his sentry. Did lose a stalker. And what's scary is that because he just lost the sentry, no hallucination, no scout. Well, that's what's important here. There's no scout. There's no confirmation as to what's going on. So triple is playing blind. Triple does poke in. HonMonO does reinforce. Remember, there's no upgrades with this. The boys are being pulled, and they're here not just to support, but also to repair. As they can repair that BC. Speaking of, BC has arrived. What shoots up? Oh, we got... okay, we got some Phoenixes, I guess. Here we go. BC teleports in. There's one shield battery. No, the Stalkers are caught out as well. Gonna be zoned away. Tank does siege. And ooh, we do force friendly fire. Zealots, they do take a lot of damage here from those Phoenixes. Do force splash damage. And HonMonO, he's done it. He breaks through the Zealots, breaks on through. Can chase down the Stalkers, pushing in towards the natural. And we're trying to collapse in, but I don't think there's an answer to the BC. And not like this. So the Zealots are trading well for themselves. They bring down all the SCVs, no repairs. No repairs. The Stalkers are gaining value here. Getting a couple of Marine kills. Void Rays on the way. Let's go. The Void Ray is coming. But now there's a tank. Now there's a tank. Oh. Stalkers have to cut back. But again, these Stalkers have been so efficient. They've gained so much value in the BC. He gets it. Just barely. Brings down the BC. The MVP Void Ray. The Stalkers as well. And with that, triple holds. Triple is holding on. PAPI behind this. There's no economy. There's nothing here. It's just pure copium. It's Alright, what do we have left? We have a tank, I believe. There's two tanks. We have 6 Marines, 1 medevac. It's barely an army, and again, there's barely an economy either. Remember, triple is on 2 bases, and he didn't lose any probes, didn't lose any workers. Things were looking shaky initially here, but he had some very nice stalker control. Likewise, did eventually get his Void Ray. He's surviving, and he's looking to thrive. Whew. Okay. Now, technically, all triple needs to do is just chill. Just chill. Get a third. Like, technically, triple does not need to attack. He doesn't need to push in. There's nothing threatening him. There's only 1 CC. Just has to wait for his opponent to come to him. Zealot confirms. Yeah, he sees the move out. Nice scouting here by triple. He sees the army. Behind this, we need as many charge loss as possible. All the zealots. And here comes the second wave. Let's go. If the first all-in fails, try again. We pull the boys for a second time, PAPI. Let's go. The boys are being pulled. Viking lands. Again, it's all or nothing here for HonMonO. He's got 3 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. There's a skin. Tanks are within range of the first gateway of the pylon. Voiders are advancing. I will say that these tanks aren't really threatening too much. Like, it's okay to lose that first gate. To lose the cyber core. It looks like we're collapsing, and Voiders deactivate prismatic alignment. He gets 1, he gets 2. He gets all 3 tanks. And nice target firing, and with that, Triple cleans up the entire army. There's nothing left. GG, and Triple, he will take the series 2-1, eliminating HonMonO from the tournament. GG. Whew. GG will play. Congratulations here to Triple. Again, a very intense series here. Game 1, HonMonO was able to catch Triple with his pants down, but here coming into game 2, we saw HonMonO being hyper greedy instead, and too greedy was a big risk, a big chance, and it did not pay off. It wasn't worth it. He wasn't able to get away with his hyper greed in game 2. Coming into game 3, 1 based all in, and thankfully we saw that Triple, he saw enough to be scared and to be safe and to be defensive. Didn't have the best setup. He didn't know that that a BC was coming across the map. He had Phoenixes to defend of all things, which were less than ideal against the battlecruiser. They were tickling the BC, but you know, they played their part, they played their role, they bought enough time for the Void Ray, and GG all played. Was able to build up his Void Rays, build up his charge lots, and survive. And with that, congratulations, HonMonO. He is out of the tournament. He is knocked out early on here. We typically expect to see HonMonO have deeper runs, but not this time, not this season. GG. And that leads us into our next matchup here. We're going to be following Triple. We're going to follow Triple into the next series. It's going to be another Terran versus Protoss matchup, but the Terrans, they get more and more difficult as time goes on. Because up next, we have one of the heavy hitters. We have Nicoract. Oh boy. There we go. So up next is going to be Nicoract versus Triple in a TVP. So the Terran versus Protoss does not end, not for Triple, and we're getting into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Pylon. That looks stressful, 100%. Yeah, PAPI, you always stress when playing against HonMonO. Always, PAPI, always. But here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Protoss player, the South Green Protoss. It is Triple. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. Nicoract is also a very aggressive player, but he's nowhere near as cheesy as HonMonO. 1 base all-ins are rarer for Nicoract. 2 base all-ins, that's more what he's known for. You know, 2 base play, 2 base all-ins, 2 base timings is what we'll be keeping an eye open for Nicoract, especially on Pylon, as this map does favor aggression. For now, racks expand, economic start out of Nicoract. And we'll see how Triple approaches him. Let's go. Good to go. So if our standard opener out of Triple, likewise Nicoract will be going for his own CC on the low grounds. Again, there's no crazy 1 base all in here. Not this time. Sorry, I was just dying. As Reaper gets in. Oh, I got a little bit awkward, but does catch the Reaper. Okay. Esther triple. Bit of lost mind time here, but does kill the Reaper. As the force fields will eventually, there we go, will eventually run out. But nice catch. Behind this, Nicoract getting to his own factory, getting to his own reactor follow-up. From here, we go into reactor Reaper Hellion, or we can go into Marines, into earlier Tech Lab, into a more tech-heavy follow-up instead. Oh, going for the mine drop. Okay. Mine drop is on the way to scout, to get a little bit of economic damage, more importantly, to get an eye on what his opponent's up to keep triple busy. Now, every game against HonMonO, we did see charge-based openers and charge-based play. Now, my assumption was that, I mean, HonMonO has a reputation, so opening up charge is ideal against HonMonO, but it might even just be a stylistic choice. We'll see if triple opens up charge, even against Nicoract as well. And there it is. Speaking of charge. So it does open up with Zealots. Again, there's some pros and cons to this. The downside is without Blink Stalkers, you have no map control. You cannot threaten the main base. You cannot deny drop play. You cannot shut down drops or shut down harass like Banshee play or Ravens anywhere near as well. There's less micro potential, but the upside is that this can shut down early tank pushes. Early tank pushes, early aggressive maneuvers from the Terran. Charge is more ideal against. We'll see if it pays off as the drop is coming. Yeah. Drop does move out. Triple back at home, setting up. As just like against HonMonO, triple is going up to a bay on 2 bases. Okay. Hydro comes in. D's connections. We a little bit late with the hallucination, unfortunately. A little bit late. And with that D's connections, getting a stalker, a sentry, a probe. Ideally did want a little bit more, but not bad. As triple does go for a delayed expansion in favor of earlier Colossus. So a shaky economy here for the Protoss. Shaky. As Nicoract did get a full scout. He did see the bay. Did see the bay morphing in. She also took note of the lack of blink. And we'll see if the early Colossus pays off for the Protoss. I mean, against his early stim timing, it may be ideal. Here comes a salvage. Here comes a move out. It's a heavy bio army. On the one hand, sure, there are Colossus. On the other hand, there's not much support for the Colossus. I'm a little bit surprised. Remember, charge was researched. Where are the Zealots? There's literally one Zealot. There's not many charge lots here, and that is a little bit concerning. It means if Nicoract pushes, thankfully there's an observer to spot this. But if he moves out, Colossus are vulnerable. Here we have a Zealot warp in. Ooh, he pulls back the Colossus defending against the auto turrets. There's an opening. Colossus does reposition. Does warp in time. Steps in. Yep, spots the Colossus, pulls away. So Nicoract, he does spot the defensive position. He respects it. Pulls away, backs off, gets his base. So third CC is almost done. We're getting into the mid game, which is a good call to make. Again, this has just been very safe, very defensive play here from the Protoss, which means Nicoract can be greedy as a response. Second starport's on the way, going to Mass Viking. Good reaction. Oh, that's a kill on a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Kills the fourth. Pulls away, drop on the right hand side as well. Triples out of position. Triple completely out of position here. Raven coming in from the natural. Marines, they stim into the third. Going for the middle line. Gets 3 probes. Pulls away. Other drop comes in. And Triple again. He's not quite where he needs to be. Doesn't dive in the Colossus. Oh, he goes for it. Gets 1. Yeah, barely does. Colossus goes down. Remember, there's no blink. Stalkers, they cannot chase. Cannot give chase. And a little bit surprised that he never did get into blink here, even afterwards. So no blink available, getting into a third Colossus. Nicoract perfecting his army, making up more Vikings, getting up to 10. 10 Vikings. The only thing that Nicoract is going to be missing here is Ghosts, as there is no Academy. But you could argue he doesn't really need Ghosts. Like at this point, he's too far ahead. Doesn't even need the EMPs. They'd help, don't get me wrong. Would help. And he's going straight for the Colossus. Is barely any anti-air. Gets 1. Oh, does miss target fire. Kites back against the Archon, against the charge lots. Nice kiting out of Nicoract. Pulls away. Tripoli's out of Zealots. But he doesn't lose any Colossus. Like a very careful play out of Nicoract. Very careful. Pulls back, doesn't want to lose his lead. Vikings are still amassing. Ghost Academy is done. We have the Ghost on the way for those EMPs. And, unfortunately, the style that we're playing here from the side of Triple just isn't good enough. First things first, late 4th. Remember, he lost it earlier, so he never retook it. So late 4th base, late economy, late saturation. That's why he's down in supply. Not just that, though. We haven't had any counterattacks. There's been no Zealot round by, Zealot counterattacks, War Prism harass into the bases. As the Terran player is left untouched, the Terran is just snowballing out of control. Now being up another expansion, he was already ahead, now getting further ahead. Tripoli's just been a little bit too passive this game. Now he's pushing. At this point, he's pretty committed. Triple, I mean, very committed here, as he has to break through one of these bases, has to break the army. So it could be easy. Ooh, snap of the Prism. Prism goes down, Colossus as well. Getting 1, 2, getting all 3 Colossi. And with that, there's only the Grand Army Vikings. They land behind the forces here of Triple, and with that, he gets surrounded. And with that, Nicoract, he can stim, and he can break through. Takes in the Archons, the Immortals, there's 1 Immortal left. So steps in, and snipes everything. There's nothing remaining here for Triple. As I mentioned, he was basically all in at that point. Behind this, down 20 workers, down to base. Has been left behind this game. Now, what I will say as well in regards to his style, it still feels like it may also be because of the map, regarding early charge, early Colossus, late third and late fourth base, just really safe and defensive play. This kind of style that we're seeing out of Triple is ideal if the Terran has been more aggressive. If Nicoract was playing like HonMonO, just like aping into him without having expansions behind it, then sure, I can see this working. But if the Terran player is more passive, if the Terran player backs off and takes up and is a little bit more smart about it, then that's where Triple does struggle. That's where this style does struggle. Planetary goes down. Here comes Nicoract. And he will not be stopped. He'll not be stopped, Papi. We've got a Nova, we've got a Disruptor. Let's go. That's kind of the final army here for Triple. Moving in. At the same time, losing bases. Losing his third. Soon to be losing his natural. You can see Triple is just trying to go for the base trade. I mean, it's the best chance he has to commit to the base trade. It's the only shot. But again, reinforcements for Nicoract will be enough. The main army star steps in. And even with well-placed Novas, like, it's not... the reinforcements are just too much. It's too much for Triple. Here Star steps in. Takes down the middle line, pushing in towards the main. Triple has nothing across the map. He's down to one final warp in of 3 Zealots. We got 3 Zealots back. We got 2. We got 1 Archon. We got. Remember, there's no storm. There's no storm. Let's go. He feedbacks the medevacs. Vámonos. GG gets called, and Nicoract will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Once again, as we kind of mentioned, when it comes to this build that Triple had gone for, it is more ideal if the opponent's being more aggressive. If Nicoract was going for a 2-base all-in or was going for an earlier timing attack, then we could have seen Triple take a better defensive fight, especially with the early Colossus. But as you saw, as soon as Nicoract moved out, as soon as he saw the first Colossus, he pulled away, right? He backed off. He lost like 2 Marines, backed off, went back home, threw down a second starport immediately, and was working towards saturating his third base, right? Like, he just went for a later attack, this time with the Vikings, and with Ghost behind it, into a 4th base, into a 5th base. Like, he just decided to back off and macro up. Meanwhile, Triple was stuck at home, waiting for an attack that never came, and he just fell behind as a result. Did fall behind, and with that, we're now getting to game number 2, and we'll see if Triple can bring it back to the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Magnatha, we have the red Terran player. The red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the green Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is a Triple. We go. Getting into game number 2. And again, Nicoract showcasing his more flexibility, I should say, after game 1. In game 1, we saw he was working towards an earlier stim timing, then he just backed off once he realized he would not be able to break his opponent, just backed off, focused on his economy, focused on his tech, and just snowballed out of control from there. And my big question is, are we going to see the same build again? Like, stylistically, I feel like it's almost like a hard counter to HonMonO, you know, being very safe, going to charge, going to Colossus. It worked very well against his first opponent. And on Pylon, it makes sense as well, but now we're loading into a large map. Right now, there's no excuse to open up charge unless you scout something. So we should be opening up Blink or even Stargate. If we see Charge again, then it feels like Triple just has like one kind of play style against Terry. We're learning together. Learning together. As this time we have a more economic start. Ranks expand out of Nicoract. Going for his factory. And oh, speaking of, there it is, Stargate. Okay. We do have some variety here out of Triple, and there's a reason why we brought up Stargate earlier. Now, Stargate play has fallen out of favor and has fallen out of fashion and is quite vulnerable. Ooh, does get scattered. That's a little bit scary. It is vulnerable against aggression and against two base all-ins. Two base all-ins shut this down so hard, especially if it gets scattered early on. I will say that it is more viable to go Stargates here on Maganatha, on larger maps like Maganatha, on Tokamak as well, these larger, safer maps. The problem though is that Nicoract just scattered this, and he can now formulate a plan to be aggressive to try to break his opponent. Assuming he clicked. Great, I hope he did. If he didn't click on the tech structure, and if he goes into Banshee play, he's going to be shut down. Add-on swap. Uh-oh. There's the add-on swap. Reaper goes back in, confirms the Phoenix is on the way. If he didn't know earlier, now he does. Yeah, he pulls away. So it looks like the first time he went in, he didn't actually click on the building. So he did not realize that it was a Stargate. That's why you just saw the attempted add-on swap. Now he realizes that now he swaps away. As we were trying to allude to, going into Banshee, I mean, Phoenixes hard counter Banshees. They hard counter Banshee-based openers. So that was the initial plan, and now he has to deviate away. So late reaction, late scouts by Nicoract. Does rush in. Getting into the mineral line. 3 Hellions, they can one-shot probes. Oh, down to 2. Get 2-shot. Gets 1 probe so far. Shatters to the shield battery, gets 2. And we get 3. Oh, more Hellions make it in. Getting him to 5. Getting him to 7. This is getting out of hand. Very much so. 9 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. 10 probes? Oh, God. This should not have happened. Denies more mining time with the natural. And he shouldn't get any more probe kills. He won't. Reaper goes back in. Again, all just distracting the Protoss. Denying mining. You can see the Protoss player. You can see Triple here with 600 minerals, 700 minerals, delayed warp-ins. Big distraction. The macro has been slipping. Yeah, the macro does slip. Now going for the bait. Late third base here for Triple as well. A very disrupted start. And Triple's in trouble. Oh, we just pulled the boy. Okay. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. The boys are being pulled. Nicoract, he knows that Triple is struggling. We spoke earlier. If you remember, we spoke about how one of the reasons why Stargate play fell off was because it is very vulnerable against 2 base all-ins. That's what this is. 2 base all-in. 2 base all-in here by Nicoract. He's rallying across the map. Phoenixes, they delay some of the production, but it doesn't matter because here comes the army. Gee, that's a little boys. Triple pulls away to defend. Does lift one of the tanks. But there are so many Vikings behind this. Vikings, they just annihilate the mineral line. 18 probes go down. Tank is pushing in. And there's just too much Terran. Too much Terran. Immortal falls. Depowers the robo. Depowers the low ground. Denies the warp in. And Triple has been broken. Just ensuring there is no robo. Mirror Nicoract is resaturating his bases. Building back up. Oof. Does punish Phoenixes. Does punish. Now Nicoract, he's going for the kill. Now he's got a second tank. Got a second tank that with the Void Ray is doing what it can. Boys are being pulled in, and Triple, he may barely hold on here, but he's gonna lose so much more. Marines, they start to step back. The tanks will fall. Ah, not even. Not even. There's just too much Terran PAPI. Stutter steps in. And he's going for the Archer's pylon. Oof, denies the warp in. Shuts down the Stargate. I mean, there's nothing. There's gonna be two gates. There's gonna be two gates. Roll on that Copium. The warp in does finish. Does finish up. And here it is. Two Stalkers. Two Stalkers. Two probes. Ah. One probe. Zero. Time to micro hearts. I got there we go. Zero stuff. GG well played. Good luck gets called, and Nicoract will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Nicoract does claim the series, does take the 2-0. My condolences to Triple. I appreciate that Triple went for a different kind of build here in game 2. I appreciate he went Stargate, but as we mentioned, going into Stargate play, you are so heavily reliant on denying the vision, denying the scouting, because if you get scouted early on, then your opponent can react with hyper aggression with 2 base all-ins, which do shut down the Stargate play very, very hard. Again, there's a reason why Stargate openers are out of favor and out of meta nowadays, because of the rise and prominence of 2 base all-ins a couple of months ago. Nowadays, it's quite rare. You still see Stargate play, but it's a very niche build, and it does have a lot of kind of like parameters that you have to meet to make it viable, to keep it hidden, to keep it safe. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to Nicoract as he does claim the series, does advance on to the next round, and we are getting ready for the second half of the broadcast. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll be back with another TVP, but this time we have Moja versus Jelmek. Let's go, baby, let's go. Going to be going in a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next 2 series of the broadcast. See you then. See you then. See you then. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the OSC Elite Rising Star number 17, day 3. We just had Nicoract. Nicoract, he just eliminated Triple from the tournament. Triple is out. Nicoract, he is in. He does advance on into the next round. And we are here to determine who is up next to advance on into the further rounds in the lower bracket and who is out of the tournament. Up next, we have another TVP. We have Moja versus Jelmek. Let's go. We're jumping to game one. Game one is going to be on ley lines. And I appreciate seeing Moja again. Moja, he's one of those players that I wish played more. Like, he plays a lot. Sorry, I should emphasize. I wish he competed more. He does show up every now and then in OSC events, in some European Open Cups, only some of them though. It's still quite rare. It would be great to see him, a little bit more of him, as he is another one of those players that's kind of like just below the upper echelons, who's working his way up, who's had some very impressive performances, especially in Home Story Cup. Would love to see more of him. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the German Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Moja. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. It is Jelmek. Go. Kara TVP. And hello, Moja. Hello, Moja. He does move out across the map with his SCV, and he is primed to go in and to go for the eBay block at the natural. So a cheeky move here by Moja. He does slip by, he does slip past, does go around the top side of the map instead, and the eBay has been thrown down. And Jelmek, he is just now moving out to low ground. Nicely timed here. He can pull the boys, he can react, he can shut this down. There we go. Oh. He doesn't pull the boys. That means he's going for the Zealot response. Is this going to be a heavy delay? Yeah, heavy delay. We go. Zealot's on the way. So this is going to be a delayed expansion for Jelmek. Typically, as soon as you see the SCV, as soon as you see the eBay, you pull the boys. You pull the boys. This is so late. Yeah, this is a late reaction here. These boys had to be pulled like, what, 40 seconds ago? Like, again, as soon as it got scouted, and then you can focus this down, and then it will be focused down in time for you to expand. As Zealot is going to be cancelled. Does cancel the Zealot, so a bit of a shaky response, a shaky reaction here from Jelmek. Does expand, but again, a kind of a shaky start. Behind this, Moja getting his own CC on the high ground, making sure he's safe. Checking for proxies. Doesn't want to get called out. O sea, siema, papi, siema. Bienvenidos. Dzień dobry. Oh, as Moja, he's going racks expand into a 3 racks. Okay, so a very strong sim timing is on the way here, so Moja being hyper aggressive. If this gets scouted, ideally you want to react to this with a Blink Stalkers to delay as it pushes out across the map, or rush into the Robo into early Colossus production. We'll see how Jelmek responds as the Phoenix, as the hallucinated Phoenix will soon move out across the map. Reaper is barely going to escape. Just barely. Reaper pulls away, did not scout the tech as it's just not being thrown down. It's going to be a Twilight Council. And where's that hallucination? And we still don't have the energy. We are still lacking it. Stim has begun. Oh, there it is. Hallucinations across the map. There is a chance that Moja might deny the scouts. He does have a handful of Marines here, and we're going to be rallying out. Oh, this might be lined up. We'll see. Station goes in. I'm here. Marines in position, and the scout is denied. Oh, the scout is denied. Ay, ay, ay. That is brutal. That's very unlucky. Very unlucky. Now, he does see the second racks at least. He saw the Marines. Now, for all he knows, this could be a 2-1-1, right? This could be a 2-1-1. 2-on-1s are not unheard of in Terran versus Protoss, but Moja does have a reputation, so there's also a high chance that it's going to be a 3 racks. Jelmek, he has an idea as to what's happening, and it's going to be on Jelmek to delay the push, to delay the move out, to slow it down ahead of time. So far, he's taking his gases on 2 bases. So taking all 4 gases. We should be seeing another gateway. We should be seeing more warp-ins and a move out. As once again the Reaper does pull away. Immortal production has begun. But I'm a little bit concerned here for Jomek because he's staying at home. Uh-oh. Here comes that hallucination. So, ideally, especially because remember, we opened Blink. I mean, I guess Blink isn't done yet. It was a disrupted opener because of the early game. But you want to be active with those Stalkers, you want to be able to pick away at the Marines, force early stims, maybe catch a Marauder. If you stay at home, that means the army's going to be untouched. Moja checks, does confirm the 3rd, does confirm it's late. So he is aware of the later expansion. He's aware of the army. Building on more Marauders, waiting for the Medivacs. So it's going to be a later timing here for Moja. Instead of going for the stim, he's waiting for those Medivacs instead. And this is going to hit like a truck. It's going to hit very hard. So here comes the army, waiting for the Medivacs. Have arrived. Now the Observer does spot the move out, as Jomek is aware. But the bay is late. It's a late bay, late Colossus. There's not really much to defend. Yeah, again, this response from Jomek has been very shaky. And now we're up the ramp. Moja, yeah, he sees the opening. Takes out the pylon. Jomek's out of position. Pushing into his own natural. And we're just going straight into the main. Oh my god. Yeah, straight into the main. His depowers everything. 1-1 is denied. The Robo's depowered the bay as well. And this is critical damage. Ay, ay, ay. Force fields, I mean, they don't really do much. There's 1 sentry left. And we just stim, and we can win. And with that, Moja, he'll look to take a lead in the series. Takes down the final Immortal. And there's nothing left. PAPI GG gets called, and Moja takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, a bit of an odd response to Moja's build. For the most part, Jomek was aware, right? He saw the 2 he saw the 2 Raxes, he saw the Mass Marine, and his response was to be very defensive. His response was to stay at home, to get into the early Immortal, to go into a 3rd base, into a very late bay, into a late 2nd robe. I mean, the second robe wasn't really part of that, but late bay, late Colossus production, and he wasn't proactive, even when he got Blink, right? Like, ideally, what you need to do there as a Protoss player, once Blink finishes, you need to be proactive. You need to be out there to spot the move out, to delay the push, to pick away at the army, to give yourself time, to buy time, to warp in extra units, to get your Immortals, to get your Colossus up and running ideally as well, to be able to make a stand. But yeah, again, it was a very shaky reaction by Jomek, and GG. GG all played. Moja does snowball out of control, and with that, Moja takes a lead in the series. Now we're jumping to game number 2. We're jumping into game 2. And we'll see if Jomek can recover. Let's see if he can recover. Let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing himself, currently teamless. It is Moja. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player, with the Polish Protoss himself. We have the blue Protoss. It is Ziomek. We go. Beautiful. As we are set up, and we'll see if Moja goes to the same build, to be honest. We'll see, we'll see. We're loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is a larger map, longer rushes by ground compared to ley lines. So there's a higher chance for a push like that to fail. There's more of an opportunity for your opponent to react and to respond, to prepare. But we'll see. Alright, Zara on Ziomek. Moja going for an economic start to 2 games in a row, going Rax expands. I believe last game we saw the CC on the high ground because of the eBay block across the map. This time Ziomek actually has a comfortable start. I mean, that's also part of what happened last game, is that it was just a really awkward opener for Ziomek because his CC was, or because his Nexus was delayed. So it was a little bit messy. It's messy. Go. Same build. Let's go, baby. I mean, I say the same build. It's a different variety. This time we're going for early concussive shell. The purpose of this is the goal. Okay, winding it back here. Remember, Ziomek just scouted. What did he scout? He scouted the Rax. He actually didn't see the CC, but he saw one gas. Yeah, he saw one gas. He saw one Rax. He knows it's a CC on the low ground, and the goal here is that Ziomek should be reacting, or could react. There's a high chance he reacts with Adept Harass, with Stalker Harass, moving out across the map. The goal is to catch that first gateway unit to punish his opponent, trying to punish the more economic and greedy build from Moja. That's the goal, at least. We can see that Ziomek, he does not open Adept. He opens up Sentry into Stalker. He's being more defensive, getting scouting information. This does mean that these Marauders don't find any damage, so Moja, he's looking to be a little bit more opportunistic. We'll see if he can find any stray units. As Hallucination does get eyes on the Marauders. Behind this, going into the Raxes, going into later stim. But once again, 3 Rax. Mass bio stim timing. Hallucination does confirm. This time there's no denial of the scouts. Marauders dip in. And can I get a Stalker? I shouldn't be able to, yeah, but Miscontrol does fire the Nexus. And this was a bit of a waste here. Gets 2 pros, but we'll lose 2 Marauders. Reaper gets it. Okay. And the Reaper does help make up for it. Does get 4 probes. It's something, but still an expensive trade for Moja. That is an earlier factory. That means we're going for a later push. Yes, we're going to have really early stim, but it looks like Moja will stay at home until he has Medivacs again. Until he has +1. Okay. Ziomek is being quite greedy. Oh, very greedy, actually, going 2-gate blink into a 3rd base. Okay, hyper greed out of Ziomek. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm too fond of this. Hallucination is denied. 2 more gateways. See if Ziomek can hold on. We'll see if his reaction here this time is Mass Stalker, or if he does go for an earlier Bay into earlier Colossus. Blink is done in 3 seconds. It's time to be active. We got to move up. Yes, he's being more passive. He's going into charge. He's going into a very heavy gateway composition. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So not going for Colossus this time. I mean, last game it was delayed Colossus as well. And here comes the move out. Here comes Moja. He has a terrifying army. +1 is almost done. I'll be honest, I don't think Jomek can stop this. Not with his reaction, not with this build. 0 shield batteries as well, so 0 batteries. Likewise, he's not being proactive either. We spoke about how important that was last time. To force stims, to pick away at the Marines. Jomek, he's stuck at home, and oh boy. it's not going to be pretty, PAPI. I mean, there's potential with force fields, true. Has some potential. Charge isn't done. We got the slow loss. Let's go. Once again, Moja, he just walks into the natural. Jomek's out of position. Robo gets depowered. Gets up the ramp. Do we have a force field? Up! Not quite. Yeah, no force field. He's pushing up into a concave. Yeah, better trade safe for Moja. Takes out all the zealots. Pulls away. Now going for the Immortal. The Immortal's exposed. And the Immortal will go down as well. Yeah, just a really rough fight here. Very rough. Jomek, he does hold, but these are brutal losses. And here comes the second wave. Here comes the second push. Once again, Moja sims in. Takes away the Zealot. We have Storm on the way? Oh, God. It's ambitious, is what I will say. Very ambitious. Stalker's blink forward into the Marauders. Every Stalker goes down, and Moja, he's done it. He's done it. He has broken the back of Jomek. We have a couple of Zealots trickling in. We have a force field. The army can just stand and fight. We have 3 Zealots left. Down to 2, down to 1, down to 0. The final Stalker cannot get away. Again, we do see Moja, he has done it. He has broken the back of Jomek. Again, Jomek, both in game 1 and even here in game 2, especially in game 2, because he saw everything, by the way. This time the hallucination scout wasn't denied. This time he saw the entire build, but did look a little bit lost when it came to his response, and GG gets called. Moja will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Moja. He will take it. He does take the series. Again, a very strong showing here by Moja. And again, Jomek, he had the information he needed. He had the vision. He had the scouting. Game 1, I don't put too much blame on him just because it was like an awkward build and an awkward start to the game because of the delay, because of the disruption. But here in game 2, like, it did feel like Jomek wasn't too familiar with how to respond against the 3 racks, against that early bio timing. Did feel a little bit tentative as to how to approach it, and felt like he was almost like experimenting a little bit as well. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations, Moja. He will claim the series, and with that, we are now going to be jumping into our next matchup. Jomek is out. Jomek, he is knocked out of the tournament. He's eliminated from the OSC Elite Rising Star. And up next, we do have our next matchup. Our next series, it is going to be a PvP between MindoVK and PAPI. Let's go. PAPI. Jumping into our PvP, going to be loading into ley lines. Vamos. And spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MindoVK. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself. It's from Atlanta, Poland. It is PAPI. Hey, PAPI. Let's go. We have our PP. We've been covering nothing but Protoss vs. Terra the entire day, the entire broadcast, but finally we have something different. We do have a mirror matchup instead, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of Mindle? Will it go the way of PAPI? Best of luck, up to you to decide. This is going to be a harder one to call. Middle VK, he is nowadays more of a streamer, more of a content creator. He's been streaming a lot, playing a lot, playing 2v2s, playing StarCraft Evolution. Likewise, he's been running a lot of tournaments, running Fire Cup, Sunny Lake Cup, Waterfall Cup as well. There's so many different crazy tournament names, so many different tournaments. It's been great to see him really give back to the community and do a lot for the community as well. Been great to see. Meanwhile, PAPI has been very inactive. He was on Berserker Esports last year, right? He was on Berserker for quite some time. But ever since Berserker disbanded, PAPI hasn't really been competing too much. He shows up every now and then, like in local tournaments, in like House Galactic Battles or events like that, or online qualifiers, of course, for Polish tournaments. But very rarely does he compete in these more open cups. So it's great to see him here. Great to see him here. We'll see how he compares. So now we do have an initial 2-gate opener, 2 gateways out of PAPI, 2 gateways out of Middle VK. No one is proxying, no one is cheesing. PAPI does finally get that expansion. Slightly delayed compared to his opponent, but nothing crazy. Just like by a couple of seconds. So far, everyone is mirrored. Building up with more sentries. And getting into the early game. From here, we're waiting for our tech of choice. There it is. It is going to be Twilight Council out of PAPI, Twilight Council out of Middle VK as well. Getting into Blink, and there's a very high chance we're just going to slow things down, get a third base, get into Blink, get in towards a Blink, into charge on Archon composition, and then move out on 4 bases. There's a very high chance of that happening. Hoping that we have a little bit of aggression and that we do get to, you know, be a little bit assertive early on, but we'll see. We'll see, PAPI, we'll see. So here comes a hallucination. Blink is on the way. From here, both players are going to be looking for their third base timings and also for the robo timings, whether we go robo before or after the third. Whether anyone goes for a massive gateway explosion. We can see the Mindle is going to be expanding, likewise, so is PAPI. There we go. So delayed robos. There's no punish. This is where if a player was going into a hidden dark shrine, the game could just end, as both players do delay their attack. But we can see there is no Dark Shrine from either player. So we are fine. Okay. From here, there we go. There, here come our robos. Forger +1 into charge, into immortal production, into observers. Getting a very passive game here. we're getting into that classic kind of European PvP setup. Where for, I say European PvP, basically European mirror matchups, a lot of like, whether it's PvP, ZVZ, or TVT, a lot of the European mirror matchups, they do kind of lean towards this more like mid-game style. With lighter aggression early on. He does poke in. And again, he's not committed. Looks in. Pulls away. Oh, we'll lose the Stalker. We'll trade. And that's going to be a better trade for Mindle. Very nice. Catching an extra Stalker at the same time it ups a shed into the natural. Nice distraction. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, gets 4. Oh. Oh, can we get 4? Can we get 5? Uh-oh. Shades into the main. Middle VK completely out of position. He was distracted. 6 probe kills. That ups a shed into the natural. Forcing a oh god, this is a very messy defense. Does force a recall. Can we get 9? Barely not, but 8 probe kills and a recall and lost mine time as well. Nice damage by PAPI. Very nice. So PAPI takes a lead, takes a very comfortable lead here. He's up up to 64, 3 base saturation. 64 probes. We have a massive gateway explosion on the way. And Middle will soon commit. Now, what do we have coming in towards the mid game here? So Middle he throws down a massive gateway explosion. PAPI expands. So PAPI's going to be the defender. He is investing into his economy, and Middle is just going to commit. Just going to double down. He's lost so many probes. He knows he's behind. He's got 7 gateways on the way. Jesus, it's going to be 11 in total. Yeah, 11 gate setup. Remember, no gas here at the natural, no gases at the 3rd base, so just 3 gases. Is doing Mass Zealot to reinforce. Just Mass Zealot. PAPI did get an extra gas. He needs shield batteries, and even then it's going to be a tough hold. Let's go. Warping in all those charge slots. Can he break through? Shield battery isn't ready. Nice force fields. Force fields, they zone away a good half of the army. Oh, they catch the Zealots. Better fight for PAPI. Much better fight. And he blinks in the multiple short as well. And Minuvike, he just takes a really brutal fight here, losing half his army. Zealots reinforcing. Shield battery is now done. There's an Archon to defend. Once again, nice control here by PAPI. Pulls away. Tanks a lot of shots, diving on the Prism. Prism goes down, and Minuvike, he will lose everything here. Again, shout out to the MVP Adepts to cripple the economy to force the all-in. And PAPI, he was more than prepared. Oh god, the interception. Catching out the Stalkers. It does catch him out. Do you have a couple of Zealot reinforcements? And we're trying to hold on. Ah, jeez, that's a lot of Zealots here. A lot of charges coming in. Oh! The Prism barely gets away. He's going to be targeted, catching up the Immortal as well. So some nice pickups towards the end. Now, some of these pickups were nice, that's great and all, but remember, PAPI has a 4th. PAPI has a 4th base, he has gases as well, so his army is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's also becoming more complex. As over time, PAPI's just outscaling Minuvike in terms of the quality of the army. Working on +3. Getting his all in, he's committing in, getting on top of the 5th. The 5th base is cancelled. But remember, that's the 5th base, like that. That's fine. PAPI can't afford to lose this. Just give up on the 5th. Defend at the natural. Oh. So he gets a little around right here and towards the right hand side. He rotates. Another fifth on the way. Minnow finally gets his own fourth. And PAPI's maxed. PAPI's maxed out. And hopefully he's not too passive here. Okay, he's at 200 supply. We gotta send it, PAPI. You gotta send it. Keep going. As we do have some probes going down in the main. 11 probe kills. The Zealot causes a distraction. PAPI, he's bought, sorry, Middle K, he's bought enough time. PAPI's taking too long. It's taken too long. And Middle K is caught up in supply. He's caught up, still has worse upgrades. He's still a +2 against the 3-1 upgrades of PAPI. Here comes a concave. Better engage. PAPI has to back off. Has to pull away. Meanwhile, another Zealot run by. Does get into the natural. Prism goes down. PAPI's gonna commit. At the same time, he will lose another mineral line. Probes are falling. But PAPI should win the main fight. Yeah, breaks for all the Zealots. Gets on top of the Archons. And Mindle should lose everything here. What about across the map, though? What about in the bases? Here we go, defensive warp in. So also defend back at home. And PAPI has done it. Breaks the third. Pushing into the natural. It's almost nothing here. Almost nothing left. Gee, that's that's a lot of Archons. It's a little bit unnecessary, but it's fine. Warps in the wave of Archons. Minovike is going for the base trade. This is his best chance, his best opportunity. We can afford to recall like a third of this army to defend. Doesn't have to recall everything, but recalling like 5 Archons would be enough. He does have a recall. He's not using it. PAPI, we can just recall a couple of units. Yeah. The army does move in. Recall is still available. There are some Stalkers at least to defend back at home. Not going to be ideal, but there we go. There's a defensive warp in. Step back. PAPI, it's a messy defense here, but he does defend. GG gets called, and PAPI takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, he does take a lead early on in the series, as he was able to get some critical economic damage. If you recall, it all came down to the Adeptoras. There was some Adeptoras into the natural, into the main base, dealt some critical damage. Minovike, he fell behind, he was forced into the all-in, and there was a moment there where he maybe could have made that work. PAPI, he was getting a 4th base, he had less warp-ins, but he still did maintain a better economy and a better army overall, and he was able to take the fight. Take it, run away with it from there. We did see that maybe PAPI was a little bit too passive, and Minovike was able to harass and did make him work for it towards the end, but when it came to the main fight, it was always going to be in favor of PAPI. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Let's go. Spawning in the top hand corner of Magnatha, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss himself. Oh, leading the series 1-0. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player. Representing Sidestone Gaming, it is Mindle VK. Here we go. So we have our PvP. So we have our series here. Let's go. We have our series. Again, we did have a relatively passive mid-game last game. We did see PAPI, of course, harass and be able to just pull his opponent apart with his depths, but it wasn't anything too committed. We'll see if that trend continues here. Welcome to Magnatha. Magnatha is a very large map of the map pool. Because it's so large, it is very common to proxy. Very common to proxy somewhere, whether it's in the center, left, right-hand side, a lot of places, a lot of proxy locations. We'll see if anyone is tempted to proxy. Now we're just scouting. Probes do move out. They pass by each other. And here comes the second pylon for Mindle, the second pylon for PAPI as well. Meanwhile, don't forget to hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate your hydras. Drink water. It's been quite hot here in Australia. We're getting to summer. I think we're there, right? Hold on, Jesus. When is summer in Australia? December? Yes, December. So we're almost there. It's getting hot, man. It's getting hot. We're not going to be ready. So we are expanding, getting our naturals. We have a take of choice once again, and no one is really cutting any corners. No one is being too aggressive here. We have a Twilight Councils in towards Blink. There's no early Stargate play. There's no proxy out on the map. Hallucinations are sent out to confirm once again. So just like last game, we have a relatively tame early game. We'll see if anyone can pull off any depth harass again. Otherwise, we'll just calm down and build up. Calming down. From here, we can then keep an eye on the third base timings. We'll see if anyone goes for a massive gateway explosion. We'll see if anyone goes for a robo as well, or if we go for the faster third. Last game, both players did cut corners. They did go for their faster expansions. Speaking of, here comes the probe. Here comes the third base for at least Mindle VK. Mindle gets his third. PAPI not too far behind. Again, both players are expanding. Settle in. We have our robos on the way. We have the forge on the way. +1. Slightly faster for Mindle when it comes to the forge and the robo. So slight advantages. before we build up. And we do have the first move out. Okay, let's go. Remember, blink is done. So you see PAPI pushing. He'll get spotted by the pylon. MinoVK should be able to react. So pylon does go down. And he's aware. Trying to keep up. Likewise, PAPI, he actually hasn't started charge, which is a little bit concerning. No charge on the way. He's staying on a low gas counts. Only on 3 gases. There we go, taking a 4th gas. And charge now begins. But again, there's going to be a window in time where MinoVK has the better upgrades, has +1 and charge over his opponent. We'll see if Mino can strike. Oh! Makes it. Here comes the Warpism. He's coming. And Mino, he's pushing out. We do see PAPI has to back up. He has to set up back at home. We need shield batteries. Batteries, immortals. And middle of the timing comes, and it passes by. I mean, charge is still not yet done for PAPI, but Minnow, he's just chilling back at home. Prism is out, but he's warping in Archons. Working towards +2. Yo, we're gonna no rush 10 minutes. Is that what's happening? Is that 4th base on the way for both players? We're just calming down. We're just building up. Getting into our more refined compositions of Blink Stalker, Charged Out, Immortal, Archon. We're getting there. And then it'll come down to the fight itself. It'll come down to the positioning. It's very easy to A move in and to lose all your zealots. You have to be so careful with your charge loss against Archons. So it comes down to the army control. And to how the armies push into each other. Let's go. Here's what we're headed towards. As Mindle moves out. Here comes the warp in. He's in position. When it comes to the army, Swampy has a massive zealot lead. Yes, be careful. Mino, he has more Archons. Zealots, they do get into the mineral line. They move in on the right hand side. They just get 2 probes, nothing major. Still poking. As MinoVK rotates over in towards the low ground base. PAPI's out of position, also getting to the mineral line. Oh, pulls back. Pulls away. Oh, we get decent positioning here with the Stalkers. And MinoVK does finish the warp and is pushing in. Stalkers, they go for the dive. They dive in the Prism. Prism barely goes down. And MinoVK is breaking through. Yeah, takes down the Archons. Doesn't quite get on top of the Immortals though. Pulls away. Trying to get a better angle. Nicely done. It comes in for the flank. Immortals are exposed. And Mindle, he will snipe the Immortals. He gets one. Gets one. Going for the other. We need one more Zealot warp in. They're coming. They're racing from across the map. And Munavike, he doesn't quite break PAPI, but he does cripple the economy, right? He gets in, gets 10 probe kills. He did reset the main army as well. There's one Immortal and one Archon left. So better fight for Mindle. Again, it was just a really awkward engagement for PAPI, and it didn't help that it was fighting while, he was fighting in the mineral line, right? In the mineral line, so he lost his workers, he lost his probes. Due to where the fight was occurring. And was moving in. He's up 20 supply. Pushing towards the third base. PAPI is supposed to move out with the Observer. But he still cannot keep up. Not supply-wise. Needs more Warpins. He needs more PAPI. And as he moves out, they get into another mineral line. You see PAPI's out of position. Cannot defend. 10 probes going down. A bit of an awkward attack here from Mindle. A little bit awkward. Zelsa do clump up. But he breaks through. Yeah, he breaks through nonetheless. Gets up with the Archons. And with that Mindle, he is breaking through the main army. Archons go down. Prism gets sniped. And the Zelsa did kill the mineral line, by the way. At the same time, GG gets called. That's going to be 35 probe kills, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A much more passive game this time in game number 2 from both players. We were just building up to 4 bases. We were both, for the most part, keeping up with army supply and keeping up with the upgrades as well. But it came down to that first big fight from Mindle. He was able to distract his opponent and, as you mentioned, force a fight in the mineral line as well. So as we saw PAPI trying to defend, he did lose his mineral line, he did lose his workers, he fell behind economically, and also took some really rough trades as well. He was losing some high-tech units against mainly a Zealot composition. GG. GG, well played. So a rough fight there from PAPI, and now we're getting into the ace match here. Going to be loading into one of the older maps in this tournament map pool. Going to be loading into Golden Aura. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Mindle VK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss, the Polish Protoss. It is PAPI. Here we go. No one says PAPI is sexiest one. Oh no. The jig is out. I mean, it is PAPI. True. No. But again, it was a relatively passive mid game until the main fights. We saw that Munavike was able to outposition his opponents quite heavily, twice actually. Now it comes down to Golden Aura. Now, if you're curious, you may be wondering, especially if you're a newer viewer as well, hold up. What is Golden Aura? Golden Aura was a map a couple of years ago. In the ladder map pool. It's been a while, but for this tournament, for OSC events, the players vote on which maps to add. And they did vote on Golden Aura. So Golden Aura was voted in as a map to compete on, to play on, from a couple of years ago. It's a relatively large map. There's a lot of open spaces here in the center as well. We often see a lot of mid to late game on Golden Aura as a result, a lot of late game actually, but in PvP it's a little bit different, right? Because of the warping mechanic, you can be more aggressive early on. You can still be in the face of your opponent. All the grapes. See, Papi, see. Oh, and for the first time this series, we're going for the proxy. Now, based on its location, looks like Papi is going for a proxy Stargate. Just because it's close by air, it'd be very awkward to go for a robo or gateway from this position, so we're expecting Stargate. A proxy Stargate is not an all-in, but it is an aggressive build. This is designed to cripple your opponents economically, going Stargate into Oracle, straight into the mineral line to kill as many probes as possible. Now, when it comes to MinoVK, he scouts the main base, he sees, hold up, where's the pylon? He knows that the pylon is missing, he knows that something is wrong, and he is looking for that pylon. You can see this is a common proxy robo location, so he does check the center of the map, looking for the robo. Robo gets sniped. Where does Mindo go from here? He's going to the top side, actually. Does check the top side, going for the rescout. Robo's on the way. Middle, he believes it's a one base all in. Papi does spot the adept. Oh no, he finds it. He does find the Stargate. Cancels the Robo. He cancels the Robo, starts up the Twilight Council instead. Good reaction here by MinoVK. Unfortunately, he had to cancel a building, but does react in time. Remember, a Robo is ideal against an all-in, but this wasn't an all-in. So switches into Twilight Council. And MinoVK, he's getting the shield battery ready in the main base mineral line. He is ready for the Oracle. The Oracle should get no damage. Oh, even does activate the Pulsar Beam. Yeah, 0 damage from the Oracle. Pylon goes down, depowers the Stargate. Meanwhile, across the map, Papi's base is delayed. And we have a game. So far, MinoVK is in a better position. He has Blink. Right? Blink is in production. Twilight Council only just now began here for Papi. Now, what I will say is that thankfully, Papi hasn't lost the Oracle, right? The Oracle hasn't dealt any damage, which is true. That is lackluster, but at least he has it alive, so he can still find some damage later on in the game. So that's potential. For now. Oh. Pokes in, pulls away, gets a revelation. No economic damage yet. Not yet. Now there's going to be a window, there's going to be a timing available here from Mindo where he has Blink over his opponent and he might try to hit it. There's a small window. Small Adepts, they do throw in the shade. Stasis goes off, and Adepts, they do shade in. Gets one, gets two. 3 probe kills, not bad. Gets some damage. Blink is now done. Ooh, Stasis goes off. The Oracle does get sniped, but does delay the third base. Third base is delayed. Papi can take his own. Mindle, he's going for non-expansion. He's going for the proxy. How many gateways? 4. Ooh, so 2 base, 4 gate setup here. Robo's also on the way. MinoVK is committing. Does have the larger army. Has force fields. Pokes in. No defensive shield battery. Oh, wait, what? There's no shield batteries. Oh no. Yeah, Stalker's getting caught out. Blink just now finishing. Brutal fight here for Papi. Brutal engagement. And Middle he's going for. He's going for the kill. Going for the throats. The boys are being pulled. A desperation here from the Blue Protoss. And again, he had no shield batteries. The pants were down. Pull him up, back. Pull him up. Ah. That shield battery's ambitious. It's a kill, not a cancel. Takes down another Stalker. And GG gets called. Papi cannot defend. And MinoVK, he will take the series 2-1. Advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Ay, 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 este papi. He was caught out. He had no shield batteries at his natural or the third base. Not just that, but he was expanding, getting a third base. He had a lower gateway count. He had 2 gates. He had 2 gates against the proxy 4 gates set up from his opponent. So Minovike had a massive army lead. He also had that blink, that timing with blink, of course. If you saw, the fight began and PAPI, he had no blink. He had no blink with his army, so he lost 3 or 4 stalkers early on before blink kicked in. Just a really brutal fight, a really brutal way to start the fight, and from there, Minovike snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. Mindo, he does take the series, does advance on, and este papi is out of the tournament. He was able to hold his own, did have a strong showing here against Minovike, but again, here in the final game, just lack of scouting, lack of realization how much danger he was in. GG. GG, well played. I didn't realize that the aggression, the all-in was coming, and that Minovike was as committed as he was. So congratulations, and with that, that is us wrapping up the day of the OSC Elite Rising Star. We covered 8 matches, 8 best of 3s. We had 4 this morning and 4 this evening, 8 in total. And with that, we have wrapped up this week of OSC, and I believe next week we should be, next week there's going to be another week, of course, another set of matches for the OSC Elite Rising Star. Sometimes we cover the event, sometimes Steadfast or Chicken Man or Dave Testa or Wardy, depending on which caster, which content creator is available at the time. They'll be covering the week of OSC Elite, of the Rising Star tournament. So whoever is available, of course, we are always available, always, PAPI, always, but sometimes some of the others are also looking to cover some of these matches as well. Looking to. But with that, GG, well played. We are going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Again, a little bit of a shorter broadcast, but especially because our schedule has been so intense, I'm okay with that. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been like slurring my words a little bit. I'm a little bit fatigued. It's like I got some decent sleep. I was able to sleep like 5 hours before the cast, so it was okay. It's okay. Got some sleep, but more would be nice. And we got a lot of catching up to do as well in regards to all the VODs, all the content. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it back yourselves. I believe next week Jumi versus Hydra should be played out. We also have Baby Marine versus Young Yakov. Again, that is a very spicy series. I do look forward to that TVZ. Looking forward to it. And next week they might even play out the upper bracket semifinals. We have Shameless and Percival also waiting for their opponents as well. They're waiting, PAPI, they're waiting. The lower bracket still has a lot of games to progress as well. Still a lot of games down there. A lot of games to come. We'll get there. Oh, this is Rising Cup 16. There we go. So a lot of games, a lot of matches. We have Demry down here, we have Folksher, we have Ledlix. Of course, we just covered Nicoract, and Nicoract did advance on further into the lower brackets. We have Minovike, we got Moja as well. True, Moja. All advancing on in that lower bracket, and the Wikipedia page should be updated soon, TM, with those matches. Otherwise, when it comes to the rest of our schedule this week, bam, it's going to be a very busy week of StarCraft. We just wrapped up with Monday. We had 2 broadcasts, a morning and an evening cast of OSC Elite of Rising Star. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the Enki Epic series. That is some StarCraft Evolution content, so look forward to that tomorrow. We do have the Wardy TV Monday. That's going to be on Wednesday. Let's go. That's going to be the Wednesday cast, morning and evening, back to back. We have Turtle Tussle on Thursday. We have the Pondcast Thursday evening. We have Pigstar Cup Friday, then we have MSO and STC. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We're probably going to be adding another cast as well. I do have the replays for Pigstar Cup number 55, so we're going to be covering that at some point as well. And also a bit of a PSA: if you did not watch the Pondcast, what are you doing? Tune into the Pondcast, PAPI. The TLMC map results are in, and we have the top 3. We have the top 3 maps for Team Liquid map contest. It was Mothership, 10,000 feet, and Celestial Enclaves. That was what I expected, at least, to be the top 3. Mothership, of course, has the star factor of being a 3-player spill map. 10,000 feet, in my opinion, was the best rush map, and Celestial Enclave, in my opinion, was the best macro map. So we have the 3 maps chosen to be added, or the top 3 maps for the contest, and we will soon have confirmation as to the new map pool. We will soon have confirmation, and within the next week. Within the next week, we should have confirmation, and then we'll have the new map pool live on the ladder. Oh boy. Let's go, Papi, let's go. So we're almost there. From my understanding, that's also going to be revitalizing the 2v2 map pool as well. So there's going to be new maps added to not just 2v2, but all of the map pools in general for 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. So we're going to get some fresh maps on every single format, and that leads into a new season of tournaments. So look forward to it. Again, maps, they do impact the meta. They do impact a lot of matchups quite heavily, actually, in regards to playstyles that are viable, other playstyles that are not, and how the meta does shape, especially coming into 2026. Now, also a bit of a PSA, I believe there should be another TLMC soon, and we should be getting another map pool after this one. Again, we're getting a new map pool here in November, and there should be another map pool early 2026 before the next EWC. So we do know that, at least we know that. Wax did confirm. I think the next map pool will be in around March. I think the next Team Liquid map contest around March of next year. Yeah, around that time. So 2 map pools a year. That's pretty good. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Let's go. So exciting times. Of course, there was a big announcement regarding BlizzCon next year, right? BlizzCon next year is going to be featuring some StarCraft tournaments as well, some StarCraft show matches, a bit of like a team league, draft format for those show matches. So do look forward to that. And of course, we'd still have some more StarCraft on the horizon. RSL is this week. True. The Rival StarCraft League is also this week, Season 3. This week we have the group stage. I believe next week we have the playoff bracket, which we will be casting. We will not be casting the group stage, but we'll be all over the playoff bracket of the RSL. And we also have the Platinum StarCraft League finals over the course of December. And we still have the Chinese Invitational event around the corner as well. That's going to be the Chinese celebration event for the return of the Chinese server. And we have the RSL offline finals also in December. And it's just a lot of StarCraft. there's a lot of StarCraft going on, a lot of StarCraft on the horizon. Look forward to it. Baby. Look forward to it. Yeah, all the StarCraft. 5 whole hours, one animal. True, one animal. Enki in sub 12 hours. Yes. The Enki Epic Series, that'll be at 10 a.m. AST. That'll be in just under 12 hours. Just under 12 hours time. Yes, for now, we're going to be heading off. Going to be spending some time with my bunnies. Yeah. Let them out. They're animals. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. For the Enki Epic Series. I mean, the schedule shows Enki Epic Series, but I believe we should be covering 2 show matches. It'll be the Enki Epic Series, and it'll also be Little League Cup. A best of 7 between Rainer and Hero. So back-to-back show matches tomorrow morning. Let's go. Otherwise, if you want to support us, you can follow us on the socials. We do have our command in the chat. !socials. You can follow us, of course, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We upload on YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of content over on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, I'm going to be working on those VODs right after the stream. Going to be working on those thumbnails and scheduling those VODs as quickly as I can. So look forward to the content there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You can also support us via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our weekly tournaments. So Sparkling Tuna Cup is funded via Patreon. You can help us there. You can help us grow it. You can help us grow it to the point where we can have monthly finals on a regular basis. That would be ideal. That would be the ideal scenario, the ideal situation. You can help support us there if you wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.